evening to you wherever you are, or it might be if you're in Europe, it's Sunday, right? I think that's if I got my stuff down. But at any rate, we're back with our special guest Ed Lozzi from Beverly Hills, Edward Lozzi and Associates, famed Beverly Hills PR maven and a friend. And Ed, how you been?
Considering what's going on between riots, earthquakes, demonstrations, people dropping dead of coronavirus, kids out there having a good time. Otherwise, I'm okay. I can't complain. Nobody listens.
It's like the '60s, though. It's exciting, man. It's like woo, you know. It's got a little,
Yeah,
but a little bit of dose of virus
yeah.
installed.
The '60s. Yeah, I was the young revolutionary. I was the sort of a younger baby boomer, but yeah, the '60s really changed this nation more than anything. This is nothing compared to the Vietnam War and the riots then, and the real Martin Luther King and the real movement, the first one, the one that many people died from, and it's like this whole new generation it's something new to them, but uh, the war in Vietnam, it completely changed the political movement. It completely changed how the media deals with presidents. It completely changed the mold. So our parents, who were World War II generation people, they thought we were in Mars. They didn't recognize, and my mother, who's still alive today,
God bless her.
she's like there's two generations of total change. So everything in life changes. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It all changes.
It
Just hope
reminds
that
me of a line that Dennis Hopper used, which I think fits into what we're about to talk about in a way. He said, the 90s are going to make the 60s look like the 50s, but these aren't the 90s. Anyway, I just love the line.
I like it.
Fabian was a team heartthrob.
Go ahead.
Fabian was a team heartthrob of the late 50s and the 60s.
Mean Fabian? You mean Fabian?
Fabian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know what? It's that thing in me.
That's the Rastafarian pronunciation.
Oh, is that what it is? You know what? I thought it was the Beverly Hills Polo Lounge version of it. Oh, Fabian. No. Fabian. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Fabian. So Fabian was a
teenage heartthrob. His first hit was in 1959. So that was the Philadelphia sound. Okay, that included Frankie Avalon, Paul Anka, Bobby Rydell, the Italian Philadelphians who really had rock and roll and harmonizing wrapped around their finger, all before the Motown sound really hit, all before, these were the first rock and roll balladeers. These were the pioneers, and what put them all in the public eye? One show. It went national. Started local at first, but the Dick Clark American Bandstand was the national show. Came out of Philadelphia, and all the rock and roll stars.
Special note, somebody else that also watched American Bandstand is our guest, Cheryl Foss. She's a famous bodybuilder. Cheryl and friend. Cheryl, thanks. Nice surprise. Cheryl, meet Ed. Ed, meet Cheryl. And Ed's is talking to us about Fabian, and I just want to put that little programming note in there. Ed, there you go.
All right. Yeah. Hi, Cheryl. Hi. Okay. So Fabian, and why we're talking today, why I'm on the show with you today, is because Fabian, for the first time in about 25 years, has gotten back in the studio and has just come out with a new record. And has to do a lot with the outrage and the total like number one television show in the nation right now is Joe Exotic's The Tiger on Netflix, about the crazy criminal now incarcerated for attempted murder, Joe Exotic, and his association with a big cat tiger preserve, which is just a ludicrous train wreck. The whole show, it's like something you can't turn away from, and it's unfortunately about abuse of these tigers, of these tiger cubs, that this guy and some of the people he was associated with allowed to happen. And it's all being seen now by millions of Americans and Canadians and others around the world. The show is apparently going worldwide. So most of your viewers know what I'm talking about. I was brought in this project to do the launch, the public relations, the publicity launch of Fabian's new song, which is actually a re-recording of his number one and his first hit from 1959 when he was only 15. It's called Tiger. And so they re-recorded it in the studio. They worked on it in London, Nashville, and New York, and in Los Angeles. And all through technology and all through what we're looking at right now, okay, online communications. No one had to leave their home. And they created a new record called Tiger 2020. And the reason that Fabian did it is that Joel Diamond, who produced it, Joel Diamond, who is two-time Grammy nominated, 24 and 94 platinum gold record producer, talked Fabian into getting back into the studio because of this phenomena of this television show. And he went for it and he did it. And so the media release that you have, which has the link to the song, is out. It's now on iTunes, and it's called Tiger 2020. The reason he did it because a portion of the sales are going to be going to tiger preserves, to help the tiger cubs and to help other wild cats. There's federal laws and state laws about having tigers, cougars, panthers, lions as pets. Most of them ban that. Okay, you can't do it. So what happens to these cute little tigers that are smuggled in, or they wind up at these preserves? And if you have horrible people like this Joe Exotic, they're going to be abused. So there's horrible accusations about this. So he doesn't care because he's in prison for attempted murder. He's got a 22 years, no parole. And again, old news there. But Fabian, I was just a pre-puberty kid when I remember my sisters were all excited about him, my older sisters, and a good-looking guy, Fabian. He became an actor, and he came out with a lot of hit songs. He was on the cover of all the teen magazines, and right up through the 60s. He was even in the movie The Longest Day, about the movie all about the Normandy invasion, and so was Paul Anka was in that too. So that's the main crux of what we're doing, and the record's available now, and that's it. So let's hear you sing it, Zenny.
I think this man sings it better than I do. So what I'll do is I'll just put him here and we'll enjoy. Here's Fabian 2020. Right, it plays. There we go.
Hey, little sugar, you look kinda sweet. Sweeter than a baby walking down the street. When I look into your eyes, I wanna leave. Can I come see you? Make me feel like a tiger. Like a tiger. To see you smile, smiles me wild, I wanna growl. Wow. I'm feeling stronger than a grizzly bear. Soaring like an eagle flying through the air. When I get you in my arms, you better beware. Go insane, can't be tamed, but I got it. Like a tiger. To see you smile, smiles me wild, I wanna growl. Wow. Keep on feeling jumping like a kangaroo. Fretting like an onion in a bowl of stew. Baby, every time you call me blue. Running like an arrow with the edge of you. I'm a little tiger and you're my mate. Hurry up, buttercup, don't believe. I'd get mad if I have to wait. Come right now, on the prowl like a tiger. Like a tiger. I see you smile, flies me wild, I wanna growl. Wow. Jumping like a kangaroo, floating like an onion in a bowl of stew. Baby, every time you call me blue, running like an arrow with the catch of you. I'm your tiger and you're my mate. Hurry up, buttercup, don't believe. I'll get mad if I have to wait. Come right now, on the prowl like a tiger. Like a tiger. I see you smile, drives me wild, I wanna growl. Wow.
Hey,
Well, you
not
know
bad.
that image, the image on the album, on the record cover there, the image is Fabian at 15 and standing next.
Now, the Emperor man who started it all, and he recorded the rock and roll national anthem. And we call him Bill.
A little something
Oh,
there, but
that's one of their shows. They do these 50s and 60s shows, around the world. They've been doing that forever. But the image while you were playing the song, the image that's up of the two men,
I
that's
was dancing. You're talking about
Fabian at age 15 standing with himself. Now he's
wow.
like pushing 80. So
wow.
in the late 70s. So it was kind of a unique photo shot that we had put together of them with each other. So, again, the funds raised from the sale of this record and the money's coming in is going to one particular reserve, and it's called the Cedar Cove Feline Sanctuary and Educational Center. And it's in where is that? It's in Middle America somewhere. And that's their favorite charity, that Fabian and his wife Andrea, who is a beautiful woman. She's a lot younger, and she was a former beauty queen, and that's it. That's what motivated him to get back. So that's the exact same song, but brought up with 2020 musicians and engineering, and all done. It's a worldwide. So those instrumentations, those musicians, those engineering were done in actually 4 different studios worldwide: at London, Nashville, New York, and in Los Angeles, all
Did a great
coordinated
job.
by Joel Diamond. And it's pure rock and roll. That's 1959. I mean, Elvis was king, but the Philadelphia sound was second. Pat Boone was in there somewhere in the top 10. And Motown was just about ready to rock it, and which was needed. And then by 1964, all of that was over because of the British invasion. But it was
Beatles. And
from
then the
19
Rose.
yeah. So that 9 years from 55 to 63 was the Philadelphia sound and the Motown sound, and Frank Sinatra, and that was it. The British invasion changed everything.
Hey, quick question. Wasn't that also the era of, remember the Munsters TV show?
Of course, the Munsters and the Addams Family. They came out in the mid to late 60s. They came out in 66, 65, 66. So,
and I mentioned those specifically, the Munsters, because I'm thinking the music reminds me a little bit of Fabian's tune we just heard. There's a kind of a similarity there that maybe
it's the guitars. It's the the guitar leads were like big. They were just pure rock, and those guitar leads. And there's some really good musicians in this new Fabian record. So he had a lot of fun with it. And again, they never had to leave. No one ever had to leave their complexes or their homes or their in-home studios. I mean, the record business today is all done in private studios in people's garages and in big homes. It's not like the old days. I mean, where you went into a center like Capitol Records and, all these sound stages. There are a few still operating, but you really don't have to have that much equipment these days, with what's out there.
Hey, by the way, what's the website? We just heard it, but if people want to download it for themselves, is there a website they can go to get it?
Well, iTunes. Just go to iTunes.
That's right.
Yeah.
iTunes. Hey, before I let you go, your good friend is in the news again, Courtney Stodden. And when are we going to have the Courtney Stodden movie? Are you working on that behind the scenes?
No, I'm not working on that behind the scene. Courtney's a personal friend. I'm not her publicist. I'm a friend. I've dated her. I just actually talked with her mom today, Krista Keller from Krista Keller Management. And right now, Courtney's enjoying the success of her latest record, which is just beautiful. And it's and she did it during the coronavirus, and which is everybody's locked down. Again, she did it, in a studio nearby her. And what else can I tell you? I mean, everybody is pretty much locked down. She's a millennial, so they're out more. They're out and about. But she's concerned because she has older relatives and which are susceptible to this. So
and
she is still living in Los Angeles. She's single again. Her divorce finally went through, and she's dating. And I'm on the list.
And what are your other clients? What other client news do you have, by the way, that you would share with us?
Well, there's something exciting, and it has to do with a new political movement, which is some people love it, some people hate it, but it's a new political movement, and it's called staunchmoderates.org. And these are moderates. There are moderates in both the Democrats and the Republicans. Okay, extremists cause nothing but trouble on both of those parties. And so a lot of people, especially in America, middle America, are tired of the polarization of nothing getting done in Congress except for